Hey, Myles here at Tactical Hyve, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about training. As you can see behind me, there's a lot of targets, a lot of target arrays, and it's reminiscent of what you would see in a competition. But today's video is about training. It doesn't matter if it's competition, although this is going to help us really focus in or hone in on what I want to discuss today, and that is monitoring your progress. And by doing so, how you can improve faster than just by, shooting on your own at a range without any specific plan. So if you're interested, stay tuned. All right, welcome back. A while ago, we released a video on how to train, and we released that video because we realized that for shooters who are not necessarily into competition or who are not serious tactical or defensive shooters, they don't really go to the range or practice with their friends anywhere with a specific plan in mind. They typically will just go to the range, shoot targets, plinking, and it ends up being more recreation and fun. So it's hard to make really good gains without, knowing what you're supposed to be training, without having a plan. And we talked about different things in that video, and I'll leave a link to it down below and up here. And one of those things was journaling, recording your performance. It's important to see the data because without the data, you don't know if you're really improving upon what you previously did in training sessions. And if you record your data, then you also will have something to strive for. So for example, if you did a draw to one shot in 1.5 seconds, then you know that the next session you want to try and beat that. But if you don't have that data recorded, you might forget about it, and then you won't really have a goalpost. So recording the data, monitoring your progress is really important. And there's lots of different ways to do so. We talked about how you can use a regular journal, right? You can just write everything, the date, all, different important information about that training session, what you were working on, what was your focus, what was the drill, how many rounds, what was your accuracy like, what was your speed like, and that can all be manual in a journal. Beyond that, we talked about video. Video is extremely important as well because then you can see what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, so that you have a plan for your next training session. So with those two components there, it's really important. You can get a lot of value from it, recording the data and seeing what you're doing, and then looking at both of those, combining the information to come up with a plan for future training sessions. And if you keep on doing that, then you're going to notice if you're improving or where you still need improvement. So those are two powerful ways to track your training or overall just your progress. So in this video, I want to share with you what I'm currently doing to monitor my progress. I've graduated just from journaling everything, putting everything in a journal and using video because I found something more efficient and I want to share that with you. You've probably seen this timer on the channel. It's the Shooters Global Smart Timer. And this is now what I'm using to monitor my progress because I do video a lot of my practice sessions and it combines the data with video. I already mentioned how those two tools are very powerful. Now the timer will combine them both. And this is within the Shooters Global Smart Timer Drills app. And I'm going to show that to you in a little bit. But I also will use a point of view or first person camera, which I use the Insta 360. I'll leave a link to it below. And I combine all that data. Now, I'll explain why I use two. So there's some redundancy there. One of them is going to track time, split times, as well as the video. So that is going to be the Shooters Global Drills application. And then the first-person view camera, the Insta 360, and you can use a GoPro as well, will allow me, after I run the stage, I run to each target and this records the scores. So I have a visual of it and I sync up the two videos, or I know those two videos go together so I can refer back to it. Rather than having to jot down the scores, I just have that, the Insta 360. So I'm going to share exactly what the process is like and why it's so valuable to use both the like a first-person view camera as well as the smart timer. All right, so I have a course of fire here, 24 rounds, paper targets, steel targets, and as I mentioned, this is more of what you would see in a competition, but what I'm going to share with you can be applied to anything. We're measuring data, and we're also videoing ourselves, filming ourselves, so that we can see what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Let me explain the course of fire and exactly what I'm working on so you can kind of see how this can adapt, or you can adapt this to what you're doing. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start from this cone over here, okay? and I am going to run to the left past this cone. Once I pass this far left cone, I can engage 4 targets. There's a paper target there, 2 steel plates, okay? One of them is really small, so I'm gonna have to take my time there, then another paper target. After this array, I'm going to move past this cone, all right? And I'm going to engage the 2 paper targets, the 2 steel poppers, the other paper target here, then this partial target right over here. So I need to engage all of these targets from this position. From here, I am going to shoot this target, okay? It's a partial. Then I'm going to move to the end of this stage, and I have 5 other targets here that I need to engage. They're open targets and partial targets. Whether or not you're shooting this course of fire, it doesn't matter. This is what I'm working on right now. Specifically, I'll share what I'm working on so that when you see how I diagnose things, you'll know exactly why I'm thinking about things or talking about things that way. And that is, I'm trying to increase my speed in my split times and my explosiveness from one position to the other without sacrificing accuracy. This is the time where I'm in an exploration phase, meaning I'm pushing it. Things could look ugly, my hits may not be right, although that's the goal, to keep the accurate hits. But this is where the wheels might fall apart because I'm trying to push, I'm trying to expand my level, my ceiling, okay? So I'm going to run this drill, or this course of fire. I'm going to record this on the Shooter's Timal Drills app, as well as the Insta 360 that I have here. And then right after we run it, I'm going to share exactly the breakdown in the video, but also I'll share, I'll show the scores on my first person view camera and kind of the whole process. All right, so finish the stage there. That was 28 shots, 16:34. We're gonna check the hits. The timer is tracking all the time, the split times, all that stuff, which you're gonna see in a little bit as we review the footage from the Smart Timers Drills application. But now this is where I use my first person view camera because now I can easily see what my hits are. So let's take a look here. So I have this recording so later I can see everything. So I got 2 alpha, hit the steel here, that was good. I have an Alpha Charlie here. I felt this shot, and we're going down here. I have 2 alpha, pretty much the same hole, keyhole that one. And here we have, I have a Charlie Mike. I didn't call that one, so that's something, I need to be careful about. I didn't call this, all right? And over here, I have 2 alpha. And going down the line, here I have 2 alpha, 2 alpha over here. So as you can see, the first person view camera allows me to just know the scores. I don't need to jot it down. I can see it later on. And to Shooters Global, if you can add a function there that could track it easily within the video function, it may be there, I may not know about it, but that is something that would come in handy. I know that you would have to customize the stages. I know there's a different part of the application that might be able to do it here. This is 2 alpha, the steel was hit here. We got 2 alpha and 2 alpha. Not a really bad run for trying to, I forgot 1 target there. That is, I think, 2 Charlies here. 2 Charlies. So I believe, several Charlies and that 1 Mike, which I didn't call. So now what we're going to do, so I would shut the first person view camera. Later, I will sync up both videos, look at both of them simultaneously so I can see my scores and then see my movement. But what we're going to do now is dive into the Drills application to see what I can improve using the video as well as the time that is gathered through the timer. All right, so I'm opening up the Drills application on my smartphone right now, which you can see on your screen. And what we want to focus on here is on the lower right corner, activity. This is pretty cool because this is now your digital journal. I click on activity, and as you can see, it is June 16th right now, and you can see that flag right here. You can already see that for today, I've taken 278 shots. It's recorded all of that. I've trained for 22 minutes and 30 seconds. So that is really important data. Okay, so you can kind of track your progress from day to day, week to week, things like that. And you can scroll and see other things I was doing here. The videos associated with those runs, the rounds that I shot, the time as well. And let's just take a look at the last one, because that's what we're focusing on now. So I'm going to click on this top one, which is the 28 round course of fire that I just did. And as I scroll here, you can see best split, all the shot times here. It's all laid out here, and you can scroll little by little. But what's beyond, what's great about this also is you can see the video, as you can see on the top. And what's cool about this is, after looking at the data and overview, I can tap the video and, change it to landscape mode. And notice how, as we're watching the video, all the times are popping up on the screen as it happens in real time. And this is important because I can see the time directly associated or connected with the movements in the video. So I don't have to go back and forth and wonder what I was doing. So here, I'm just going to I'm actually going to go on a different part of the app so I can see the video better. So I'm going to exit out of this. And if I wanted to see all the videos that I have recorded in the Drills application, I'll click my profile and all the videos show up here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this latest video. I'm going to move it horizontally. So now what I can do with this is watch the entire course of fire and the split times as it happens. And this is going to give me a bird's eye view of everything that I want to hone in on. So I'm just going to let this go. And you can fast forward if you want to. I'm just letting this play a little bit here so you guys can see everything here. And let's see now. So it's going to start. Okay, we're seeing the split times happen here. Right, those shots were good. That one tuxedo at the that one is where I had that mic, so I'm not happy about that, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scrub this video and kind of see certain areas that I want to work on. So I'm working on speed and decreasing my split times, just being a little bit more explosive while trying to maintain accuracy here. So I'm going to start this again here from the run and hone in on wherever I can here. So I'm here. I feel that the steel plates were pretty slow. Okay, so I'm going to try to speed that up. Of course, there was that one smaller plate on the right, so I need to take my time there, but I feel that I was over-confirming. So I'm shooting a red dot, and I'm allowing the red dot to settle. So I'm going to, for this next run, I'm going to try to speed things up, and I can compare the split times later on. So let's just go back there and take a quick look here, what the split times are for the plates. Okay, so let me just double check there. So that would be in between. I'm going to play this again here. So 213 first shot. And so I have from the second shot to the first steel plate was 0.72. So that's kind of long, okay? So I want to be able to hit that third plate faster. So I'm going to focus on that. I'll remember 0.72. And what was the transition to the next one here? Let's take a look at that. The next target was, let's see here, was a 0.57. So from the first steel plate to the second steel plate was a 0.57. So I have a 0.72 and a 0.57 to beat, all right? Now let's see here, the movement, I feel like I could have ran faster. I wasn't really moving there. It was just kind of like a leisurely scroll, so to speak here. And so I want to make sure I correct that and be more explosive. Another thing I'm going to do to ensure accuracy, just looking at this video, if I go back, notice how I'm leaning here at the very end. I'm going to press play here. I'm leaning at the very end. I kind of lose balance in my footing here, right? So that's something that I don't want to do because it didn't happen there, but I potentially could have lost my balance. Let's say if I had a bad shot, I wouldn't be able to do a pickup shot. So that is something I'm going to correct on my next run. So I'm going to try to beat those times, the 0.72 and the 0.57. I believe those were the times. And I'm going to try to be quick on my feet, okay, to the next position. So let's see how I do in the next run. All right, so that was the second run. That was a little slower. That was a 16:39, but the areas that I wanted to improve did speed up. So that was a 0.65 transition and a 0.5 transition to the plates. We're gonna check the hits in a second here. I did feel a little fatigued on that run. I didn't have a good grip, so the hits, I'm not sure what it'll be, but let's make sure. I'll be happy if we don't have a mic there, like that uncalled mic before. So we're gonna check all of the scores, but before we actually check the hits, just wanna thank CCW Safe for bringing you today's video. If you're a gun owner and you do not have self-defense protection, make sure to check out CCW Safe in the description below. All right, so we got 2 alpha here. We got the 2 plates, okay? We got 2 alpha here. All right, we're gonna go down here, and now I have my first person view camera to capture everything too. 2 alpha, this is 2 alpha, 2 alpha, this is 2 alpha, 2 alpha over there. All right, we got 2 alpha, Alpha Charlie, Alpha Charlie, 2 alpha. So much better run. So that was a 16:39, a little bit slower, but the areas there I wanted to speed up, I sped up, and we'll check the video also because I wanted to kind of see how I moved from that first position to the second position, but the accuracy was much better. The first run, there were 3 Charlies and a mic, and this run, I believe it was 3 Charlies, and this run, 2 Charlies, no mics. So and they were really good hits, so I'm happy with that run. Actually, yeah, we forgot this one here. No, forgot this one. So we have, it's 3 Charlies this run. 3 Charlies, just like the first run. This is right on the line, but it's still a Charlie, but no mic. So I'm happy with that. It's a better accuracy, improved where I wanted to improve, but I still think that, we're gonna check the video, I still think I could have run faster from position 1 to position 2. All right, so I have the drills app open on my phone right now, so you can see I clicked on activity on the lower right. Right on top of the feed is my latest run here. Tells me how many shots, total time. I'm gonna click through so you can see the run, but also the split times. So I was focused on the split time from shot 2 to shot 3. That increased, or that decreased by a little bit, so I'm happy there. Still felt very, very slow, but I also felt slow again from 3 to 4. I actually felt I was over-confirming, in which this does confirm that, because from shot 3 to shot 4 on that small plate, it was a 0.65. The previous one was 0.5. I actually thought I had a faster time between shots 3 and 4, but the app is telling me I didn't. I actually misread the times previously when I was walking around and checking the hits. So you'll see everything here, and looking at the video, I noticed that at the very end, we'll just kind of fast forward to the end here, I still lost balance because I actually wasn't focused on it, so I'm going to let this run. Notice how on that far target to the right, notice I'm leaning, and I don't want to do that because if I ever have to make a pickup shot or something like that in competition, then it would make it very difficult. But let's take a look at the run from the first position to the second position. So this is the first position. And it was still really leisurely, and that that might explain the reason why it was still roughly the same time. Although the hits are better in the sense that I didn't get a mic, this one here, it didn't get any faster. And there's another area where I just spotted here looking at this video. Take a look from after the poppers, there is that open target, the brown paper target, IPSC target, then there's a partial. I should have started moving from the partial to the other partial target. What I mean by that is I'm gonna hit these targets, I should start moving faster right there between those 2 last targets there. So let me go back. Right now I should be moving faster because those are relatively easy targets, and then move into this last position to take all of those shots. So as you can see, using this timer with the drills application and a first-person view camera, whether it's Insta 360 or a GoPro, you can really combine that information and track your progress. The app is awesome because it has that calendar view. You can just click in, watch the videos, the performance, it's all recorded there, the times, your total time for training, all of that good stuff. So it is going to now take place or replace, it can replace a regular journal. And some people like to write, and that's completely fine, but if you're like me, I prefer digital. Everything's there and you upload it automatically. So hopefully this video gives you a little insight into how you can use these different tools to track your progress, to improve. For me, these 2 runs, it shows what I'm doing well, it shows my shortcomings, and I can look at the data and tie it into specifically what I'm doing through the video. So that's very powerful. So I highly recommend getting a first-person view camera as well as the smart timer. I don't think there's anything in the market like this. I like in terms of first-person view cameras, I like the Insta 360 360 better because it's lighter than a GoPro, but you know, you can use whichever one you want to. And so the whole purpose is to use these tools so that you can track your progress effectively and efficiently so that you can go to your next training session with a plan in mind and you can improve faster. So that wraps up today's video. Let us know what you think in the comments section. If you like the video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. See you guys next time.